You with me, DJ? We are live. If I could get DJ to accept the co-host, and we will be going. There we go.
I accepted.
There we are.
So just to forewarn you, I'm in the car now. I'm running to the store, but I didn't want to miss reactions because I left as soon as I heard 1, 2, 3, and acknowledge our tribal chief, motherfuckers.
That's right.
What did what did we
What's
think?
your letter grade now, DJ?
Well,
That main event. Listen, they had 3 5-star matches for me, so I'm giving them A minus. That tonight felt like WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about. This is WrestleMania.
Yes, you're right. We just had to get all the bad stuff out of the way first, right? We just had to do the Cody verse first.
so what?
Yeah,
What?
I was gonna say, Brandon, let me know if I sound robot-y at any point, just because I don't know if I'll lose reception or anything.
All right. So I guess we know what you thought. Let's see. I'm getting a lot of people who want to talk. Cool. Okay, we're gonna go down the line. Obviously, it was like night and day. I between last night and today, it's a completely different story. I like two different bookers, two different WrestleManias. But I was gonna give it a B plus. You're saying A minus. Corey, what would you give it? You there, Corey?
Sorry, I had to find the mute button there. I would actually go in A. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it felt like different bookers. You're right. I felt like Triple H. Like, you remember that West of Oak Street where it's like, we did night one intentionally to lower expectations. I almost feel like they really actually did that.
I give this an A. This show gets an A.
Okay, I hope I don't regret this. 2 points. What would you give tonight?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is 2 Points, and tonight's WrestleMania Night 2. 2 points, aka the Gent, Ricky Jensen. I'm going to call it.
Can't you just answer
And
the
give
question?
I want to answer. Hold the fuck up. A plus. Just like me, I am an A plus in life, in the Lord.
Just
A
not
plus.
in Trivia Mania.
That's right. I had an F in Trivia Mania.
But Ropes is here.
F as in, fuck all of shit about wrestling. Let me stop.
All right, wait, we got Ropes here. I want to know. Okay, Ropes was very critical last night. I want to know what he thought today.
This was obviously
wait, Ropes.
an improvement.
Ropes. Before you answer, he's got it. He doesn't have a black profile picture anymore. He's actually got something, so I guess he's feeling better. So let's hear it.
It was definitely an improvement from last night. I gotta give them that. The beginning of WrestleMania was better. The end of WrestleMania was better. I'm gonna go with a B minus here, and I'm being generous because for the simple fact I didn't feel the drama. I just felt like we just had matches that were good, but they didn't have drama. It was just matches.
I think the first and last
DJ,
We're losing you.
Yeah, we lost you, DJ.
We're losing you.
matches.
DJ, we lost you there. We didn't hear a word you just said. You didn't feel drama in the main event, Ropes?
That's what I felt the most drama, but throughout the entire show, I was missing a little bit more that will tell me, oh, maybe I do want to watch Raw. Remember when I said that I just tune in for WrestleMania? I just tune in for WrestleMania. I have no desire to watch Raw or SmackDown.
Not even after Roman winning? You don't want to tune in to see what's next tomorrow?
No, I'm glad that he won. Trust me. I think today all the winners that won were right. Everybody that won today, those were right. That was done right. The matches were, the matches themselves were fine. They were good. I just didn't. I cannot be as critical as last night, obviously, but I like my wrestling with some drama, and that just wasn't there. The main event was pretty damn good. I almost, and for you guys to not think that, oh, I'm being, critical or biased, for a moment there, when CM Punk was just like, what the fuck am I gonna do? It reminded me of WrestleMania 17 when Stone Cold was like, what? How the fuck am I gonna beat The Rock? So, just to put that out there, but I'm still going with a B minus here because it's just something there was missing. It was just matches, except the main event and the first match. Those matches were more than I expected. But after you take that out, it was just an exhibition of matches that were good. They were good.
Well, have you
But I
been
like my wrestling with some extra seasoning in it.
have you been watching like over these last few weeks, or have you just tuned into Mania?
I've been on and off. I have watched Fast Forward pieces, and then in pieces completing Raw, in pieces completing SmackDown. So yes, I have watched. I just haven't sat there straight for 3 hours live. I've just gone back until I will finish watching.
I was just curious if maybe that's the reason why it was just matches to you, is because you haven't been watching and you being
No,
like
I
emotionally
watched.
investigated. That's
I
why I was
watched.
okay. No, that's why I was asking. Herm, what did you think of tonight?
Tonight was a solid A for me compared to last night, which would have been around a C to a C minus. Um, they got it right tonight. People Rope said it. The people that won, they made the right call on all those matches. Uh, you had your comedy spot in there right before the main event.
Which I see people complaining about, and it's like, did we forget that pro wrestling isn't always have to be serious? There's supposed to be levity, and it's a variety show. Pro wrestling, it's not all one type of thing. So why not have a little levity? You have Cena there. I mean, you got to have a little bit of a breather between the two title matches. It just seems something that, like, to complain just for the sake of complaining.
That's all the IWC does. They bitch to bitch. They just want to find something to fucking cry about all the goddamn time. They don't know the difference between sex trafficking and prostitution. Then again, they don't know the difference between man and woman or what bathroom to use or anything else for that matter.
Preach.
Anyway,
Oh,
you still there?
somebody still speaking?
I was waiting for you to finish, Herm.
Oh, I got distracted there. Corey Graves was yakking. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I've said my piece about how I feel about people and their stupid ass opinions. But that's what we endure every day when we deal with these fucking mutants. Same old shit. Find anything to bitch about. That's why somebody hasn't fucked about the fact that Jackie Redmond looks like she's wearing her husband's suit coat here.
There's no Jackie Redmond slander allowed.
I'm not slandering. I'm just saying that looks like somebody's. What she looks like is a little kid wearing her father's fucking sport coat. Okay,
So
damn thing's almost bigger than her.
Wait, can you guys hear me real quick?
yeah, we hear you.
Unfortunately, we can.
Yeah, no. What I was trying to say was I thought there was drama with the first match and the main event. Middle was hit or miss, but overall was an upgrade from last night, and I was thoroughly entertained, especially with the main event. The main event delivered. It was honestly, I think, Punk's best match in WWE, or second best. Drew and Punk will always be the holy grail, but I thought it was a solid Mania. Definitely an upgrade from yesterday, and this definitely felt more like WrestleMania than yesterday.
Soak
So,
in that Hell in a Cell.
so I guess the talk of it being the worst WrestleMania of all time is out the window thanks to tonight. But I actually did a little addition, and 6 matches. It went a half hour less than last night, and it had about the same amount of time of wrestling than last night. So, according to Wikipedia, the Roman match went almost 34 minutes. All right, DJ, we lost you again. Ropes, you got your hand up?
Yeah, one thing I wanted to say, I don't want to hear shit slander about Brock Lesnar. His last two runs, he put over Cody by losing twice to him. And this time around, he made Boba Femi look like $1 billion future beast. And he went out, supposedly retiring. This man.
Oh, we just Ropes dropped out now too. Okay,
God damn it! What the fuck?
it's not the space, it's you guys. Let me get him back in here.
No,
Ropes,
Elon's on that bullshit again.
yeah, Ropes, you there?
When did I cut off?
Like 3 seconds ago.
Oh, so I got my rant about Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, we were.
Okay, then I'm done.
I wanted to get into that. I wanted to start off with the Oba versus Brock. I think it went pretty much how everyone wanted it to go. I thought, it went 5 minutes, which obviously we knew it wasn't going to go long. But I think it was perfect for the amount of time. I think it's funny. It just shows how much Oba's entrance needs, like, be able to turn the lights off. Just when he was coming out, it didn't feel like the same because the lights were on. It's like when the Undertaker would come out and they couldn't drop the lights down.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. This was the best. I thought this was the best thing on the card of the night. It was perfect. My favorite part was when Brock. You knew this was going to be a good match when Oba was no selling Brock.
Yeah, taking those clotheslines, and then he pretty much got up from the F5. Freaking Brock's facial expressions on the outside at the beginning was great. He didn't know what to do. It almost was like it looked like it was a rookie mistake that Oba got. That Brock was able to get the advantage. And then he took the suplexes. He hit the F5. He freaking started to get up on his knee, and he freaking just dropped Brock. I was shocked. I didn't think Brock was gonna like take the boots off and stuff like that. So I don't know whether that's gonna stick or not. We gotta wait and see.
No, I think it's definitely an angle with the way that Michael Cole and Wade Barrett was playing on it throughout the night. They were hammering that shit home way too hard. Gunther's favor is most likely going to be to retire Brock. They're setting that up. That's at least what I'm thinking. To give Brock his true retirement.
But it won't be for a couple of months. They're gonna tease it for the next couple of months into the summer. It's not gonna be something that's gonna like pop up tomorrow, I don't think. But I'm gonna get a couple of hands in here. Dylan, what do you got for us?
So yeah, good. So I thought the match was with Oba and Brock was booked perfectly. They didn't need to go too long. It was perfectly booked the way that it needed to. I'm really glad that Oba won. It was the right decision. This guy is going to be a mega star for this company for years to come. I don't know when that day is going to be a world champion, but it's going to be very soon. I think I don't know when he's going to be a world champion, but man, they got some big plans in store for Oba Femi, man. That's exciting. He just pinned Brock Lesnar in potentially his last WrestleMania match. So it was perfectly booked. And I don't know what's going to happen with Brock. I don't know if we see him on Monday or not. We'll see. But I thought the match was perfectly booked, and I'm really sad that Brock is leaving if that is the case. But Brock Lesnar's proven that big men do exist in professional wrestling. But I thought the match was just like perfectly booked, and it did what it needed to do, and that's helped make Oba Femi a star, and it got the job done.
All right, let's get Brandon Ace in here. He's got his hand up.
Yes. The match itself was short and sweet, makes sense, and well, pretty much putting the young guy over was the right thing to do because one thing about Brock, as much of the stuff that he kind of has on him baggage wise, he's not afraid to put people over. Like if he sees someone that could be a next big star, he'll do it, and he did the right thing. Now, I kind of figured that Brock was going to retire this year because SummerSlam was in Minnesota, which is Brock's hometown. And we already know there's a certain ring general waiting for him to put him out of his misery real soon. Because you know Gunther's going to be asking for that favor from Paul Heyman. Probably on Monday.
Yeah, but it gives it. I don't think it's going to be something that's going to be solved by Monday. I think that's something that we're going to lead, for the next couple of months because we got until August. So,
And at the same time, also, I think the way they're setting it up with this Brock retiring angle is Brock is going to be the one guy Gunther doesn't retire on the way out, beat on the way out. I think Brock might be the guy to break the career killer stigma and everything. At least by the way he just went out with Oba. It makes no sense for him to get squashed and then for Gunther to choke him out on the way out.
I could agree with that. I think that Brock's, if assuming SummerSlam will be his real last match, I think it's gonna be one of those rare occasions where he's gonna retire on top. And I don't think losing to Brock will hurt Gunther too bad. Everyone keeps dropping out. I don't think it's the space though, but
I'm telling you, it's the fucking space. It's not me today.
are you on your earbuds? Your Apple whatever? Your gimmicks?
Yeah, why?
I could tell the difference. But okay, so obviously, then from there we moved on to the ladder match. What did we think about the ladder match? Right winner?
I thought it was exciting. I wouldn't say the right one. I don't know. I still feel like Javon should have won. This should have been his big WrestleMania moment since we're giving people WrestleMania moments, but I see why they did it for Penta. Match itself wasn't fine. I usually hate ladder matches or furniture matches and shit like that. Between this and the street fight, I liked this way more. So I gave the match I think a C. Like it was entertaining. The crowd was into it. That's the main reason why I was watching it.
Do you think it was the right match to have on ESPN, or do you think they should have done the Demon and Dominic?
No, definitely. If you had to choose between the two, I definitely would have chose this one. More athleticism, more stunts, more moments for people to kind of get drawn into the show. So I think they did the right move putting this up. I think this should have went first, but I understand why they wanted to do Brock and Oba out the gate.
What did you feel? Did you feel slighted at all about Javon not winning?
Not really. It's just not his time. I think the longer they keep him away from any belt is better for him. Like, keep him away from any title for now.
Yeah, I mean, he got his Jeff Hardy, spot that'll be, on the highlight, when he hit the move on Rusev. So, I don't think he got hurt at all by not winning. And obviously they still want to go with Penta for now. So, and he's only 21. he's got time. So it definitely didn't hurt. I don't think that hurt him at all. But
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm
yeah,
saying like hold off giving him the belt for now, any type of title for now. So when he finally does win a championship, it'll mean so much more because it's taken him so long to capture it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the ultimate underdog babyface, kind of like Darby, but they could actually do it better and make it make sense.
Brandon Ace, what did you think of the ladder match?
I thought it was alright. It was just pretty much a car crash. When it comes to ladder matches, I don't have a problem with them as long as the people and as long as people in the match are doing it right, along with not trying to get anyone killed. But you already know there'd be some wrestlers be taking nasty bumps. Now I was surprised that Javon didn't win because it seems like it was the perfect time to put the belt on him because he's young, 21, would have made history because that would have been a big moment for him.
Not even that too. Hub pointed it out too. This is the first time they've done like a ladder match for one of the mid card belts, and the champion retained.
Fair, but I'm not really. But I'm not. But I wasn't mad that Penta retained. It seems like Penta is still over with that championship, and I feel like I do think Javon will get a championship, a singles championship in time. Like DJ said, he's 21. He's got time to grow. Chances are he might win that title, maybe at SummerSlam or Backlash. But the sky's the limit for the man. He's got potential. I mean, he's got time because when he wins his first championship, it's gonna be ecstatic.
I don't think it'll be at Backlash. I don't think it'll be that soon. I could see it maybe at SummerSlam if they keep the title on Penta that long, and he'll still make history. So you'll still get that part. But I didn't see anything.
I don't think Javon's taking the belt off of Penta though. It makes no sense having Javon a babyface take it off another semi mid card high caliber babyface.
Well, it doesn't.
So,
it doesn't necessarily
at some
have
point, Penta's gonna drop it to someone.
Right, but I'm saying it doesn't have to be Penta he beats. I'm just saying at SummerSlam it's possible that they do put it on him. Maybe they give Rusev a short run. Who knows? So, Dylan, what do you got for us?
Oh, what do I think about the ladder match?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I understand why that they didn't give Javon the title. I get that they see big things in Penta, but I'm gonna let things play out because I thought he just won the title. Let's give him a run with it for a little bit more, and then whoever he drops it to next, it's gonna be a heel. Now who that would be, I don't know. I think Penta, in my honest opinion, wants to team up with Phoenix again. I just don't know when that would be, but I'm really curious to know your thoughts, Brandon, on where you think Penta goes next with that championship, and who do you want to see him drop it to?
Well, that's the thing. I don't want there to be. I don't want them to take the U.S. title gimmick and put it on the Intercontinental title, and then just for the next 2 months just have random matches. I'd like there to be an actual story for Penta.
Absolutely, 100%. I agree with you there.
So I
yeah.
do want to.
The one person I think who should take the belt off of it.
DJ, we lost you. You're kind of a robot.
Back in time and.
DJ, you're a robot.
1 second then.
Yeah. So I would like there to be a story. I'm glad to see that Rey Mysterio got out of the match without, breaking a hip or anything like that. So that's good. But yeah, I had no complaints about the ladder match. It was a typical WWE ladder match. So there was nothing wrong with it. It was a good, the car crash to put on TV for ESPN. So, DJ, you there before we move on? I'll wait for DJ to get back. We'll go back to that. So then it was Trick Williams with Little Yachty against Sammy for the U.S. title. And as expected, Trick Williams won. I don't know. Do you consider that a full heel turn for Sammy? Because it looked like Sammy was playing the heel, and it looked like Trick was playing the babyface in Despair. Little Yachty got interfered and gave Trick the chance to win.
They definitely worked it backwards, if that makes sense.
Wait, DJ, do you want to just say your
Like-
thought about Penta real quick before we really get into this?
No, I said the best. What I was trying to say is the best person to take the belt off Penta for now is Bronson Reed, in my opinion. But I don't know what his injury table is.
I mean, he's out for a while, I would think.
And then as far as Sammy and Trick, Sammy did work a lot of heelish. They did reverse the roles after the entrances. I don't think they fully did the turns yet, even though again Trick was clearly the baby face and Sammy was clearly the heel. But solid match. I thought this one was kind of rushed and quick. The same way how everyone thought Stephanie and Liv was rushed. Apparently, this one was my Stephanie and Liv. This shit was rushed.
Yeah,
I thought that they could have got more time.
I agree with that. I mean, I think it only went it only went just under 9 minutes. So, we've had longer U.S. title matches on TV. So I don't know what the deal was with having such short matches in the last 2 days.
I think it's because WWE, for once, their final, the one time they decide to listen to the fans and try to lessen the time of the pay-per-views and not have them be a drag and kind of be more like the old school pay-per-views where they were only 2.5, 3 hours, where it's more tolerable. But the thing is, they're not giving us match time and they have a shit ton of advertising time to sell because that's 90% of WWE's revenue now is advertising. So they got to get those, got to give up those time slots, sell those ads.
On the post show, apparently Oba just called out Roman Reigns.
Sounds about right.
What if they do what I
Are
suggested?
they going to pull it immediately though?
Can you imagine tomorrow night on Raw? And he drops it?
I think that they'd be. If Roman drops it tomorrow, I think they're definitely hot-shotting Oba way too fast. That'd be going way too fast. He just beat Brock Lesnar. I feel like beating Brock is his introduction into being a main eventer. Now I feel like he has to have a rivalry with one of the main eventers, a la a Drew McIntyre or Cody Rhodes or you feel me, somewhere along that stature. I would actually be okay if we rehashed him and Drew for a bit.
I mean, they
I
never
know
really.
it'd be Drew losing to another guy, but
Drew.
That's kind of Drew's job at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, and they never followed up on that when Drew got involved. Because that was more than they leaned into the Cody stuff, and Oba never really got his comeuppance. So.
Isn't Drew filming a movie?
Yeah, but he's been traveling. He's been going back and forth to Scotland. He's been filming it for the last few weeks. So, he's not afraid of the grind like some people. But I digress. Zeus! Late night with Zeus.
3 a.m., brother.
All right, we were just we've been reviewing. We were just talking about Trick and Sammy, but let me hear about your thoughts on the night and the first 2 matches that were on ESPN.
Well, first of all, I just want to clarify Obafemi's comments on Roman Reigns. So he said, tomorrow's a celebration. The next few weeks are my establishment, and by the end of the year, the OTC can come and get some. So it's not like he's going to call him out tomorrow, I don't think. I thought tonight was great. I thought the first 2 matches were perfect. Right winners as well. Ladder match was insane. Just a polar difference to night 1 for me. So it kind of bumped me up to a 6 out of 10 overall across the 2 nights.
I'm honestly surprised you enjoyed it so much, being the sicko that you are.
I know.
So
no fucking idiots in my mentions yet, so that's good.
So, just for context, someone actually responded to Zeus today and called him a sicko.
Because I didn't like night 1.
Which I thought was hilarious. I'm like, of all people you're going to accuse of being a sicko.
Yep, that's just how it goes. There's idiots on both sides.
So what would you give tonight alone?
I'd give tonight like a 7.5, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
See, everyone else gave it A's. I think it was because yesterday was so much of a fucking letdown. And our expectations were so low.
Yeah, it wasn't there's no such thing as a perfect show, but I thought Trick and Sammy was kind of meh, to be honest. Not right result, but again, really short match. Nothing really kind of
right?
Yeah, nothing really juicy. And Finn and Dom was fine. Again, right result and stuff, but nothing blew me away. But the other matches, I thought Rhea and Jade was way better than I thought it would be. The main event was fantastic as well.
Jade was in her bag tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Jade did a lot. Jade showed that she's that performance seminar stuff is starting to kick in. You feel me? It took a while, but it is starting to. Are starting to see the fruits of her labor, and we'll get to that match when we get to that match. But I think overall tonight was definitely better. Was it a top WrestleMania? No, but you know what? This is something to build on. This is the way to kind of end the year and start some new chapters.
And it's how you finish, isn't it? And I think the show finished in a very, very positive way with that main event.
Right in our faces.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was better that they had a more appetizing and appealing night 2 than if it was reversed and night 1 was better than night 2, because people are going to remember more tonight than yesterday. So
yeah, and they know that as well.
Yeah. So, main event Hub, what did you think of the tonight overall?
Way better than night 1. Roman Punk easily WWE's match of the year right now. And I don't really have a lot of complaints about tonight. The only thing I would complain about, if it does happen, is what I showed at the thing. I think this should be it for Brooke.
See, I think Seth and Gunther was better than Punk and Roman. I think Roman and Punk might have. I get why you're giving it the edge, because it was more story based and better storytelling. It was storytelling in wrestling. There was more to it. But I think as a match overall, Gunther and Seth was way better, at least in my opinion. No one was expecting it to be good. It definitely.
I think everyone expected Rollins versus Gunther to be good.
Not as good as it was.
I think most people did. I think no one thought the feud was going to be good because it was like a 2-week build.
I'm just saying purely in the match, the ring, like the performance and everything, just the match itself. I think Seth and Gunther delivered a lot more than Punk and Roman, because Punk and Roman had high expectations that they had to meet anyway, to where I think Seth and Gunther had no expectations and they exceeded them drastically.
We had some hands here, so let's go with Matt, and then we'll hit Dylan, and then back to Zeus, and then Enrique.
All right. All I gotta say is that why the fuck couldn't we get this last night? This was phenomenal. This was incredible. And I'm never this positive. I am never this happy when I'm talking about this. And this was amazing. I'm so happy Roman got his world belt. That was incredible. Matches were great. But shockingly, I got more sad that Lesnar put his stuff in the ring than AJ and John Cena.
Because you knew AJ and John Cena were retiring. No one knew that this was going to be it for Brock.
I didn't think this would be it, but people are saying it's not over. People are saying Lesnar is going to come out just one more match.
I'm telling you, you guys are getting fucking worked right now. The commentators were talking about it too much, like they were mentioning it too much, like it wasn't a shock. They weren't, you know what I mean? Like this is definitely something they're working towards. This isn't Brock's last match. I don't think he's retiring. This came too far out the fucking blue. I think they're trying to, and they're using like the president of the AJ retirement, how he kind of did it out of nowhere, to where all of our minds are thinking, oh, Brock's really gone. Thank you, Brock. Thank you, Brock. To where, no, this motherfucker's going to retire at either SummerSlam or Riyadh next year. If you don't think he's taking that Saudi payday, you're out your fucking mind.
I know, and I remember, Saudi Mania, they love their legends. They love their big, meaty men. They're going to take Lesnar for one last match. Honestly, the only complaint really I could give is the rules are inconsistent, and that's a positive if that's the only thing I really complain about, because you have, fucking Roman Reigns and Punk where he clearly hits him with the steps. I'm like, come on, that's a clear DQ. But all right, I'll let it slide because, it is the main event.
Well, they covered it up in commentary. They did say the referees, using his discretion.
All right. It just creates that whole double standard thing. It's like, how come there's no DQ with this, but then every time it happens anywhere else, it's a DQ? But that's the thing where I'll let it slide with this one because it is the final match, and it is Roman and Punk. You can't do that with that. I just will say, though, really, I have no negatives. Shockingly, Rhea and Jade wasn't god-awful. Still not my favorite match. Rhea winning, I don't know how I feel about it because I don't know. I thought Jay would retain, but honestly, when Bianca showed her pregnant stomach, I'm like, yeah, I think they had to go to Rhea.
I was gonna say, don't go too far into that match. We didn't review it yet.
All right. Well, what are you at now?
We're only halfway through.
We're still talking about.
Okay.
We were talking about Sammy and Trick.
Okay. Overall, I didn't even actually see that match yet. I have to go back because I was driving. I have to rewatch that. But overall, I loved it. I loved the PLE. I'll give someone else.
All right, Enrique, how's it going?
Hey everyone.
So we're talking about Trick and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, sorry for getting late. It's just my internet is a little bad. I just moved. I think that Sami versus Trick, I think it was a good match. I think it was way too short, but I think it was the right choice, and I'm actually looking forward to face Trick, but especially heel Sami Zayn. I think he could do a great job, like being a heel. We've seen it. He's a pretty good worker, but the underdog gimmick is just not good anymore. And in general, the WrestleMania, I actually liked it. People say the matches were way too short. To be honest, I can only think of Vaquer and Liv and Trick versus Sammy that were way too short, because if you actually see the time that other WrestleManias got for every match, it's actually in blanks. People just felt it was way too short. I don't know why. Maybe because the world titles also had short matches. But overall, I think it was a very good WrestleMania. We had at least 3 match of the year contenders with the ladder match, Seth versus Gunther and Punk versus Roman. And there was not a single bad match. I mean,
See, I don't know why nobody's
Division
throwing.
versus.
Sorry to interrupt you, Enrique, but I don't know why no one's throwing Brock and Oba into a match of the year candidate, even though it was somewhat of a squash match. In terms of a match having the most impact, this is the most impactful match of the year.
I
At
would
least in my opinion.
not give it best match of the year. I would give it rather moment of the year, if that makes sense. Because also, if you see the match, it wasn't a squash. It was short, not a squash. Because Oba wasn't dominating the whole match, if that makes sense. It was 5 minutes, 2 minutes and a half. Brock dominated, 2 minutes and a half. Oba dominated. It was a short match, but it was pretty close, you know. And I think it was great for Oba. I don't think Brock's retiring, but his great career. I'm glad he put someone over. And yeah, Oba has been built all this time, and they actually capitalized by letting him beat Brock freaking Lesnar. So I don't think it's a match of the year, but I do think it's a moment of the year absolutely. And I don't think I cannot remember a best star making moment than this. Also, I'm glad that Pat McAfee is out of wrestling, and I'm excited that I'm sad, honestly, that Randy Orton didn't win the title. But I'm excited because I think we're gonna see a rivalry between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton without, Pat McAfee. A proper rivalry with the best heel, Randy Orton. I mean, the Punt Kid came back, but I'm really looking forward for this feud.
DJ, I think I could jump on what Enrique was saying. I don't think it's match of the year, but I think it's going to be a match that's going to have the most impact down the line. So, Dylan, what do you got?
So yeah, I thought the Sammy and Trick match was obviously I wanted to be like a little bit more longer, maybe like 5 more minutes. But I thought the right man won. I thought they made the right decision. I think with Sammy, I don't know how you guys feel about Sammy personally with all the boos he's coming out to. I think WWE is probably going to like turn him heel at some point because I think he's a better heel than he is a babyface. I think it's the right move, and I don't know how you guys feel about Trick, but when I look at him and I see people chanting "whoop that Trick" over and over again, I think you got the next face of the company right here. Trick Williams, I really would not be shocked if by next year he is WWE champion next year. Don't be shocked, man. The guy could be the next face of the company. What do you guys think?
Well,
Can
I
I? Sorry.
I think well, real quick. I think two things. I think your argument and the thing you always bring up, Dylan, of WWE should be worried about making new stars. I think that argument tonight goes out the fucking window because they at least created two of them. And
Yeah,
I also think in terms of Trick's future, it depends on how long they want to keep him in the mid card. I don't think he goes for a world title until after him and Mello rehash their rivalry, if that makes sense.
yes.
So I don't think it's gonna be next year, just because you have Oba and Braun Breaker right now, kind of knocking on the door for their WrestleMania main events and for them to be the stars of the future. I think Trick is kind of more in 2 or 3 more years.
Hey, Zeus.
Um, just on Brock Lesnar's retirement quickly. I think he's still advertised for tomorrow night's Raw. So I imagine what happens is he probably comes out to do a speech, and that's when Gunther kind of gets involved. I'm hoping. Sammy and Trick, yeah, it was fine. I think the right person won. It's probably the weakest match on the card for me tonight, but it wasn't bad. I was kind of expecting more of a flat out Sammy heel turn rather than just the continuous implied one we've had. But yeah, Trick with the US title, he's a star, and he came out on the post show as well, and he was like, the crowd went nuts for the guy. So yeah, I kind of agree with Dylan that he does have that kind of face of the company vibe to him in the future, but I also agree with DJ that I don't think he's as far along in that kind of potential main event as Braun Breaker, Jacob Fatu, Obafemi, and that. So yeah, I think Trick will be fine, but it'll probably be a couple of years.
Yeah, well, he's new, and the other guys have been there, so they've been putting it in. So I agree with that. But we're gonna move on now. Let's go to what I feel was the surprise of the night, and that was Jade against Rhea Ripley. I thought the match was good. It went 10 minutes. I don't think you need to go more than 10 minutes with Jade. With her, it's less than more. I actually want to give her credit because she did not have that boo-boo face. Like, I was trying to get her, like, read her body language as she was coming to the ring to, like, try to see what they were going to do. And she was not giving it away. So I think that's impressive.
She was talking too much shit towards the. See, what gave it away to me was she was talking too much shit on her way to the ring. Way too much shit.
Well,
Like,
Bianca last night gave it away for me because but I still was like just trying to, the body language and stuff. But you know, the worst build to a WrestleMania match, and you know, it exceeded expectations.
I agree. I agree. I agree. Jade exceeded expectations. I do want to kind of go on a little quick tangent on Rhea Ripley, because right I think right now Rhea Ripley, her babyface run has ran its course, and I think she needs to turn heel on EO ASAP. I also think that Rhea as an attraction is starting to lose its luster because, and I know this is going to sound mean, because she lost all that weight. Like, Rhea does not have her look. She does not have the same look being small and skinny than when she was big, meaty, and sexy. And maybe it's just me, I don't know, but I think Rhea needs some time off to either A, bulk up again, or B, figure out a new hold or something. I don't fucking know. I think we need a Rhea Ripley break, though.
Which is why I'm surprised they put the belt on her. I thought she was going to take a little bit of time to, you know, get herself straight. And I don't even mean like, you know, working out again, but just, you know, dealing with whatever, you know, mental health issues she's going through. So I was actually surprised they pulled the switch, especially since there's really no one on SmackDown. Like, who is she going to feud with? There's like literally no one there. So, you know, unless you're pulling EO onto SmackDown 2 to do what you just said, or we're just saying fuck the brand split altogether and it won't even matter at this point. So, but Nick Lombardo, what's up?
Lombardi!
What's up, gentlemen? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Again, you got me in the car, so I wanted to make sure I came through okay.
You and me both, brother.
There you go. So, I mean, I agree that this was probably the surprise of the night for me as far as, like, match that I didn't think I would like. I thought this was going to kind of be just, like, very run-of-the-mill. I thought that the plan here was to try to legitimize Jade's run a little bit more, have her have a big win at WrestleMania against a big-time star in the women's division. And they decide to go the route of going back to the well of Rhea, which, you know, to not to totally, you know, go against you, DJ, but I mean, I still think that she's a pretty decent attraction for WWE. The pop for her is still very loud, even with this shitty Vegas crowd. So I think they still feel like they have room. But I agree that her character needs a little bit of tweaking, because her character just being I'm Rhea Ripley and I'm Mommy is starting to get a little bit tiresome, and I do think they have to do something interesting with this whole thing with EO. To your point, Brandon, about who is she going to feud with on SmackDown, I think that's the whole reason that they did this, because I think they recognize that the SmackDown women's division is just in complete free fall. I mean, besides, you know, Jade and Tiffany Stratton, who seems to just be absent, and I don't know what's going on with Tiffany Stratton. I don't know. They have poor Julia in the U.S. Women's Vortex. There's not a lot going on. So I think with the addition of Rhea, I think that the call-ups that are coming with JC Jade and Sol Ruka very soon, I think that's going to play a part on SmackDown. So I think there'll be some more characters and people to work with. Io might make the jump too after she wraps up her stuff with the Kabuki Warriors. But I actually have to give credit to Jade. I thought she had a good match tonight. I thought that was probably one of Jade's better, maybe potentially be her best match so far.
It was her best, easily her best.
Was it her best only in WWE, or was it her best period?
Oh, period.
Period.
Name one AEW match that equals to this.
Her last match with Chris Statlander in AEW was very good. I wouldn't say it was better than this, but it's in the conversation. But I think this might be the best in her career. I agree.
Hey, Zeus, your hands up. What did you think of Jade and Rhea?
Yeah, far exceeded my expectations. I was worried we were going to get a Tiffany and Charlotte with this match, where it just wouldn't work because, you know, the real life heat that's potentially between them. The build's been pretty terrible, and both looked like they didn't want to be there. But yeah, it was really good. I agree, it's probably Jade's best match ever, and I'm hoping this is going to be a sign, like Nick said, of SmackDown having a complete reset, especially on the women's side, which, my God, it needs it. And I was kind of torn because I felt like Jade winning was the better move because Jade could do with the win, and a loss wouldn't hurt Rhea. But Jade losing this, her first big title match defense. She's had it for 160 days, only defended it once. Now she's lost it. Optically, is not good for Jade, but they have to do something on SmackDown. But yeah, the match was really good, and Rhea's still a star, and she's still massively over, like more than any woman tenfold on the roster. So I think they can still probably squeeze some juice out of her as champion, especially if they go with the EO thing, which I'm sure they will throughout the summer. But yeah, I thought this was really good and way better than I thought it would be.
Hey, Enrique, you got your hand up.
Thank you. Yes. I actually really like this match. I agree. It is the best match on Jade's career. Um, let me remind you all a little bit of Jade's recent matches. Before Rhea, it was Jordan Grace. Before that, she also had two matches against Naomi, one at Evolution, the one with no DQ, and one at WrestleMania 41. Where I'm going with this is that all those matches, what they had in common is that they were competitive. I think that when you give Jade a competitive match, she can give you a very good spectacle. I think she has progressed a lot in the ring. And I think it is a shame that she doesn't wrestle a lot because wrestling weekly or wrestling um, a lot during the year does help you having a good average in ring match. I think that she has progressed, and I think that the the worst matches of hers are one-sided matches. So WWE should already know what to do for her to have a good match. Also, I forgot to mention, I think that Rhea Ripley, I don't know how her reigns gonna be because it can be pretty good or very bad. Probably EO is gonna dethrone her or start a rivalry with her. They have had great matches, but I don't know. Maybe she will have a very long reign and it's gonna be Bianca, but I don't think so. Or maybe a debuting NXT star. I really don't know. Uh, to be honest, what I would love to see is Chelsea Green. I think it's clear that the NXT, the SmackDown Women's roster, the world title scene, needs to be wider.
Brandon, do you mind if I just chime in? Roman's responded to Oba on the post show.
Oh, what'd he say?
He said, "You had a good night tonight, Oba, but I've had a lot of them. We'll see how you do during the summer, and then we'll see if you're ready to step up to the greatest of all time." And the crowd behind Roman were chanting, "Oba's going to kill you."
So what are they building this up to? The fall Survivor Series?
But it looks to be a long-term thing. Well, from what they both said, end of the year kind of thing. So I don't know. Keep an eye out for next year's Mania, maybe.
In Saudi, though, I would think The Rock's going to get that spot against Roman.
I was hoping he'd show up tonight to do that, but
I thought you know what? I thought it was at that beginning with Cena when they started. You saw the graphics on the stage, and then everything. I really thought it was either Austin or Rock was going to come out.
I thought Austin, yeah.
So that was what I was expecting. Nick, you got your hand up still?
Yes, I do. I was just gonna say that as much as I would love to see a Roman and an Oba program, and I'm not suggesting that anyone's saying anything otherwise, but if I'm WWE, I am keeping them as far away from each other as humanly possible. possible. I don't want these guys to touch, at the very least, for the end of the year, if not into next year. Just because Oba tonight, and I think Enrique said it, if I'm getting the name right, and I'm sorry if I messed up. There has never been, in my view, a more star-making moment than tonight when you had with Oba going over Brock. I mean, they had a competitive 5-minute match. You know, it was fine. It didn't feel just like a 5-minute squash or anything like that. He survives an F5, a couple of German suplexes. He looks like an absolute fucking monster. It's, to me, they have something very special with Oba, and the last thing you want to do is Ryback him, because they had something special with Ryback too, and look what happened with that. Now, there's a lot of reasons why that went sideways with Ryback, and Oba is way better than Ryback ever was and ever could hope to be, but my point remains. So, I as much as I'd love to see Roman and Oba, that's a long-term storytelling there, brother.
Hey, any other thoughts on Rhea and Jade? And then we're gonna move on to the main. Oh well, before we get to the main event, we had the Danhausen segment, which had a lot of people crashing out about, because apparently there's not supposed to be any comedy or levity in pro wrestling. There's only supposed to be 17 false finishes, syringes, thumbtacks, barbed wire. I found nothing wrong with this. The crowd enjoyed it. It gave a little breather between the women's match and the main event. So, any quick thoughts on the Danhausen segment?
I skipped it. I didn't watch it, so y'all got this. Best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Anyone else?
If I could just say real quick, one, I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I thought that it didn't go on too long, which was good, and still did the job. Got to get Kit Wilson on WrestleMania, which is fun. I also think that when I watched this pay-per-view tonight, I watched WrestleMania tonight with a bunch of friends, and a lot of friends who don't watch wrestling throughout the year. They only kind of show up for fun parties and stuff like that. And when they first saw this guy, they're like, who the heck is this guy? And then by the end of it, they're like, we love Danhausen. This guy's great. So I think that they did exactly what they needed to do tonight with Danhausen. Got him on the show, got him to have a little bit of a rub with Cena, and the sky's the limit what they can do with them.
All right. I mean, that's pretty much all you could ask for. And like I said, I just find it silly that people are complaining about it when, there's got to be some levity in wrestling. Everything can't be, vying for freaking, 5 stars and cage match ratings and all that bullshit. So, but, yeah, and then we got to the main event. We got Roman becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion. Obviously, I thought the match was as perfect as it could be. In the entire story, though, the only thing I question is, why did Roman want this title? Because we've heard for years him saying that it's the B title, it's not important, it's nothing, all this stuff. So why did he want this title? That's an explanation I want, because that's the one piece of the story for me that it's missing. I popped for Punk's entrance, AFI. I knew they were going to incorporate it at some point once they approved it for 2K26. But, yeah, I saw nothing wrong with the main event at all. I'm glad there was no shenanigans, no Usos, no nothing. So I really had no problem. And, the right winner. I think, there's only so far Punk was going with that title, and he wasn't even really supposed to win it. It was the Seth injury that they put the title on him, so I had no problem with it. DJ?
I'm going to let everyone else answer first real quick.
All right. Zeus.
One more thing from the post-show. I feel like a fucking dirt sheet here. Roman said, I'm going to take you all to Monday Night Raw, because that part-time crap, we're going to fix that. You're going to see me all summer. So, yeah, there's that.
I guess.
But, yeah, main event.
Maybe his kids got old enough that, he could be away more.
Yeah. To your point on why he wanted the title, I guess it's all down to our opinions and speculation and what he could mean. I guess for me, it could be an ego thing. Like he could downplay Punk's reign and say, "I'll show you how to make this title relevant," that kind of thing. That's the only real thing I can think of. But match itself was great. It was, two masters of their craft. I've never really understood the kind of hard divide of people who either hate one or the other. I think both are great. And yeah, this was everything I thought it would be and more. Really enjoyed it. And I did like the fact there were no shenanigans. I was expecting like the Usos and God knows what, but it was just a straight wrestling match. Two guys beating the hell out of each other until one couldn't go anymore. Really refreshing and a great end to the night overall.
And it did feed into the whole story about Punk being that old gunslinger whose body just kind of gave out on him. Like I thought they were gonna redo the spot that Punk's done. He did it with Moxley and he did it with Seth with the double GTS, but then like his body gave out and that gave Roman the chance. So
and you can see him admit defeat at the end,
yeah,
just before that second spear.
So I like how that kind of played, and it was a good match. It wasn't like super fast paced, but it didn't have to be. But there was plenty of storytelling and psychology, and that's what a WWE match is about. So
yeah,
Nick.
I thought that this was spectacular. I thought that Punk got to really have a true main event. It wasn't a triple threat. It was a one-on-one last match of the show of the weekend. Both guys played their role perfectly. No shenanigans, no nonsense, no celebrities, no. It was a great moment because, like, not just because there was no shenanigans, meaning there was no stupid shit. It also shows that WWE does not need to rely on things like The Rock showing up to make that moment special. Those two guys telling a great story, and as you said, Brandon, like, just two guys who just were throwing everything they had at each other until one guy just anymore. Surprised to some extent because that they literally had to make because Roman wasn't around enough is now the title that Roman holds, and that definitely is a fun dynamic. We're gonna see how that plays out and how if he is really going to be around the whole summer. Like, what does that mean for him? What is next for Punk? Does Punk go away for a little bit? Does he? I don't know. But overall, thought it was awesome. Maybe not Roman's best WrestleMania main event because WrestleMania 40 exists, but maybe it's two.
All right, let's go over to Enrique.
Thank you. Yes, I loved it. I think it was a great match of the year contender for WWE, no doubt. The result, I mean, does what I was hoping. Actually, that's what I was expecting. So, they did have a lot of great full finishes. They just kept elevating the match. I'm just worried about, the part-time thing. But besides that, I think that it's a great opportunity, especially for Obafemi. If he really goes against Roman, I think he should win King of the Ring and become world champion of SummerSlam. I think that Roman, if he wants, it just one half of the year. So if he wants, he can give us a good reign, not a very part-time reign. So yeah, I have a lot of expectations, and I love the match.
Hey, Dylan, what is your thoughts on the main event?
I really love this main event. I thought that it delivered on everything that it needed to. And you know what's funny I liked about it? No interferences, no referee bumps. Two guys that have a lot of pride left in them, beating the crap out of one another to see who the better man really is. And what I liked about this main event, I think of all the Roman Reigns matches that I've watched over the years, I think this was probably one of my favorite Roman Reigns matches that I've ever watched. Because I think CM Punk took Roman to a place where he has to get on his level. And what CM Punk brought out of Roman was probably the best Roman that there was in a while. So while I really don't know what's next for Punk or what's next for Roman, I did read a report somewhere that that WWE is planning a Gunther Roman Reigns match down the line. I don't know where that is, but yeah, I really am really curious to know what Brandon. What do you think is next for Punk? Do you think Punk what do you think his future holds? Does he move to SmackDown? You think?
No, I think he's going to go away for a little while, refresh, and then probably come back, leading into SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think he deserves that break, man. He had a great world title run, putting on great matches. I do wonder, Brandon. Do you think, do you think CM Punk's next contract? We talk about retirements all the time, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think CM Punk's contract, the next one that he's going to sign, will probably be his last?
He said he's planning to retire at 50, so he's 48 now, and I don't think it's going to be a situation where he's ever leaving the company because he's made it clear.
No.
He's made it clear that he's
from the ring. From the ring.
He said at 50. So,
yep.
But I want to get DJ's thoughts. He wanted to go last.
So I thought this was a really good match. I mean, in terms of the storytelling, this was the best we were going to get on the show. Roman winning, I've been calling for months, makes sense. Netflix swung their proverbial dick on the table, and they wanted a bigger draw. Punk. And as much as we love Punk, Roman is a bigger draw than him. Punk hasn't been the best draw as champion. So, as far as, future plans for Roman, the sky's the limit because he hasn't faced many people on Raw. But at the same time, I don't see them rehashing him and Punk yet. And that's pretty much my thoughts, though.
Do you think it's just a Netflix thing, or do you think it's partially TKO too because they know they'll be able to do better ticket sales knowing that Roman will be there every Monday?
I want to say it's 90% Netflix, 10% TKO. That's how I'm feeling about it. If it was TKO, I feel like Punk would still be the guy because he's been the one doing all the pressures, all the interviews, and all the good stuff.
Well, I'm talking, because of softer ticket sales for the weekly shows, and it's been shown that, Roman is a bigger draw when it comes to whenever he's announced for a show, it ups the ticket sales. So I guess they couldn't have Pat McAfee, on TV every week on Raw. So I think that might be part of the reason, especially that Roman said that he's going to, he plans on, being on TV every week. But I thought tonight was 100 times better than last night.
No, and as far as Roman being around, I can see him for the next month build. I can see him being around a lot more, but I don't see him being champ longer than SummerSlam. This is going to be a small, temporary run.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a long run with him as champion. We're not going to get another 4-year run or even anything close. But but now that they're teasing, the Oba thing, maybe that's the plan for SummerSlam. So who knows? What do you expect? Are you expecting any major surprises for tomorrow night, the night after Mania Raw?
Only one. It's not really going to be a surprise, at least for me, I don't think. But other than maybe just the Gunther Brock confrontation, that's about it. I don't see any new debut or maybe a few NXT call-ups, maybe a JC Jane or something.
I'm thinking. I feel like Joe Hendry's coming up because he was on SmackDown. So I could see them doing maybe Joe Hendry. I think honestly I think Sheamus returns. Sheamus has been out. I could see him having his return tomorrow night. But hey, Nick, what's up? Let me get your thoughts on tonight.
On tonight?
Yeah, we pretty much finished going through the entire card, so I'm just curious what your thoughts were tonight, especially compared to last night.
Oh, I mean, you can't compare. Last night between tonight was night and day. Yeah, I mean, things hit. Some things didn't hit, but I think that's just my preference.
What didn't what didn't hit for you?
Honestly, I didn't like the ladder match. I thought actually because DJ was like, "Yo, Nick is gonna love this ladder match." I'm like, actually, the Oba Brock match was better than the ladder match. I don't know. I just felt that the ladder match felt too busy, and I didn't like it. The Jade match and Rhea was fine for what it was. I mean, Jade showed out, which is nice. But it was fine for what it was. Brock Oba, that was, I mean, it was a standard Brock match, but you didn't need it to be any more than that. So it was kind of just like, you know what I mean? Like it was like Brock didn't go in there and do anything too fancy. Oba didn't go in there and do anything too fancy, but you didn't need that to be the case. So it was fine for what it was. The moment was great. The ladder match, that freaking Sammy. I feel like if they had more heat behind it, it would have been a little bit better. So it was all right. And then the main event, I think, just kind of saved it. I wouldn't say saved. I would say salvage what the weekend was, because I feel like if they needed that main event to go off, and if it didn't go off in any way, then I don't know if it would have helped. But the ending of it felt flat to me, and I don't know why. But other than that, I mean, in WrestleMania in its totality, I would give it. I'd give it a C plus. I mean, again, night one was just abysmal, and then tonight was good. So I mean, if you're taking the average of both, yeah.
What did you give tonight alone? What was your letter grade for just tonight?
I would say the main event got it to a B plus.
Yeah, that's about where I was at.
Yeah, I would say about after the main event was over. Again, I'm not going to give it an A show, A plus or A, because I mean, again, there's certain things, like I said, the moment for Brock and Oba was great. The match itself was good. The ladder match felt busy and rushed. Trick and Sammy, it was good. I wish there was more heat behind it. Rhea Jade was all right. I didn't need the fucking B-Fab and Michin and then EO come out like that was. I didn't need that, so it kind of like I was like, eh. And then the main event was good.
See, you know what I really liked about the Brock match is that it wasn't the usual Brock came in, you just started suplexing, F5. You know, it was a little slower. There was a little more selling. You know, it was a little more. It's like a lot. They had more of a story to tell than the typical Brock, 5-minute match. So, and I think it's because it was someone who could match size with Brock. So that's why that added to it. So.
Yeah, it was like I said. I don't think night 2 necessarily saved the weekend. It salvaged what would have been
a disaster.
Well, yeah, it salvaged what it would have been a disaster, but it made it a step up from a match. It was like it didn't feel like WrestleMania. The main event felt like WrestleMania. Oba and Femi felt like WrestleMania. But 2 matches out of 13 across the weekend. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, that's my fucking DJ's probably there saying, "You fucking asshole, you're an AEW show."
No, I am not. I was actually gonna say you had a valued opinion.
You're so full of shit. You're so full of fucking shit.
I could smell it. I could smell it through the space. The bullshit.
I was gonna say you're so full of shit. I just because I'm gonna go into the shenanigans that they're doing after Mania shenanigans. The Simply Reliable. We did 11,000 live viewers across 2 platforms tonight with the crew. Like, the numbers are fucking crazy tonight. That's insane.
Yeah, I think that's all around. I mean, I think we did pretty decent numbers for such late night too. So
Yeah, everybody all around did a good job. Now, honestly, I'm kind of glad that the weekend's over. Again, it's over. It's done with. The weekend festivities is done, and now, I mean, kind of see where they go, right? And that's across every promotion. It's WrestleMania is over. We got Backlash. Y'all got Backlash in 3 weeks. So what can they give you in 3 weeks to really make Backlash a decent event?
This is going to be kind of to compare it. It's going to kind of be like Dynasty.
I actually have a quick question.
Oh.
Is there any confirmation on Cody's status? Because the last thing I read was he had an injury to his orbital, and they don't know when he's going to be cleared, because that might cause some problems for them creatively.
Yeah,
they said I saw that he's unable, he's not medically cleared for the foreseeable future.
I mean, they said they said indefinitely, but who knows what's legit, if it's a work, that he's medically disqualified for now. So who knows what?
I mean, that eye was fucked, though.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's an actual orbital bone broke, or he just got a black eye. I'm just saying, who they could be playing it up. But yeah, tomorrow night we have the post Raw Mania, which always is newsworthy and interesting. So we'll see where we go from there. I don't know.
So on totality of the weekend, what grade are you guys giving it?
For the entire weekend, I say it's a C plus. I gave it a C minus for yesterday, and I gave today a B plus. So I'm gonna say it's a C plus altogether. Today definitely saved the Mania weekend for me. DJ, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So
I was letting everyone else talk.
Yeah. So next question is what you would give the totality of the weekend.
On a base average, probably a B minus. Because I gave tonight an A. I gave tonight an A. And yesterday was a C minus. So
yeah, okay. So we're all kind of in the same boat.
I'm in the law of averages. Yesterday was bad, but yesterday had some moments. Today was full of just moments and good matches. Some of the matches were still kind of shortish compared to what they should have been, but I feel like night 2 definitely some of the matches that were short needed to be short, and it worked.
It was definitely I wouldn't say just. I'm trying to be nice. I don't want to say it was mid. I don't think the weekend in its entirety was mid. I would say it was. Am I gonna go out of my way to continue watching, putting the AEW bias aside? No, I don't think they did enough in the totality of the weekend for me to watch it consistently. Trying to say it nicely. Like, it wasn't shit, but this wasn't an out of body experience. I would say, like I said,
It didn't pull you. It didn't pull you in to want to stick around.
I'll go out of my way. You know what? Here, I'll go next year if WrestleMania is on. I'll watch WrestleMania next year. But to tell me to invest time into the weekly product week after week, you didn't do enough. I didn't see enough to where it's gonna get me to go and watch like that.
Sorry, can I interrupt?
Go right ahead.
I apologize. It's because I don't know if it was mentioned already or not, but it's about Roman Reigns' title reign. Apparently, I'm seeing here that he said he was not going to be a part-time champion.
Yeah, someone mentioned that a little while ago. But we'll see. We'll see what that entails and how long he's going to be around.
Thank you.
Ropes, what's up?
I have a question for Nick, but oh shit, he left.
Yeah, he dropped.
Never mind.
What was the question? I want to know.
You're not the best person to answer this question, but okay. I need reasons to watch AEW.
I mean, your boy Swerve's a heel.
Yet he hasn't been on TV in 3 weeks.
She's still a heel. I'm trying to give Ropes the reason. Watch, give me a second. Camille's back.
What?
Oh yeah, Camille's back. Her and Willow are feuding now for the TBS title.
Okay, interesting.
So I think they're gonna eventually do. Actually, they might actually do a Camille versus Mercedes blow off.
Oh, coming full circle.
I'm trying to think. What else? I'm trying to think of shit you would be interested in.
What is Hangman doing?
He's been gone since he lost to MJF. He can't challenge for the world title no more. He did the Cody stipulation and lost.
And he hasn't been back since.
Nope.
Dang. Okay.
Think.
MJF is gone too, or he's
MJF just lost the belt to Darby.
Right. Is he gonna stick around? He's gone.
Apparently,
in 2 minutes and 5
seconds.
seconds. In 2 minutes and 5 seconds, by the way.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, Darby squashed MJF. That was the best part.
I asked why I should watch AEW, not why I should not watch it.
Well, Brandon brought up the Darby part. I didn't mean to go into that part.
Fuck?
Technically,
MJF in 5 seconds.
Technically, Ropes asked about MJF, so I was just giving full context.
Yeah,
no, right. I'm saying that
he just
I was looking for
jobbed out the Darby.
I was saying I was looking for reasons, but when I heard MJF, their biggest star, jumped to 90 pounds Darby.
That's apparently a thing.
So, hey,
Jericho's back.
That I know.
Trying to think. That's it. Pretty. And Kenny's been around a lot more than normal.
Well, if I rolled out of wrestling, I'm gonna stop at AEW. Coming out for WWE from now forward, I don't give a shit about it.
Yeah, fuck. Wow. Anything else we got to go on, Brandon?
No, that's pretty much it. That's WrestleMania. And
I think that might be it then, because we might as well save
the rest of our shit for Zeus' show tomorrow.
Yeah, we got that, and we'll be back next Sunday. We'll be back at our regular time for episode 20 already. Episode 20 next week. Because I don't count last night and today as those are specials. They're not numbered in our
these
shows.
are specials. These are Battle of the Belts.
Yeah, this is our Clash of Champions. So, but yeah, that'll be it. We'll be back next Sunday, regular same bat time, same bat channel for the DJ and Heel show, and catch us on Zeus Backstage tomorrow. And that's gonna be it for us. Have a great night.